Yo, keep the cocks out for later, dude. We don't need that shit right now. Are we having errors?
No, I think we're good. I can see you.
This,
Oh, you're frozen.
yeah, it's like lagging. This is so weird.
Wow.
It's not playing the video.
Twice?
And we're back, I think. That was a weird intro. Man, I'm just going to blame the internet on that one. Thank you for joining us again. Episode 45. I am your host, Matt Musselwhite. I'm joined as always.
How we doing?
That's not saying hi right now.
Because you're lagging. You're lagging kind of bad. I'm hearing you now.
Yeah, we have some serious lag issues, so this is already going to be a shit show.
It is crazy.
I'm super stoked by this. We have Al BOLTZ from Ascent Like Wolves. What is up, Al?
So that's always
the
fun. Daily grind. It's Friday. I'm feeling good, man.
And we've already lost Brian due to connectivity issues.
Oh no.
Have you had a good week, man? You getting a snowstorm out there too? It's been cold as shit all week.
Yeah, it's I definitely I feel like I'm not as much of a fan of winter as most people. But yeah, it snowed as shit. I guess it has for the past 2 weeks where I am. I'm in Lancaster, PA. I don't know where you guys are at, but yeah, it's always super cold.
We're in Texas, so we're really cold, but we don't have snow yet.
We're experiencing what's called an extreme freeze right now, and it's pretty fucking crazy. Everything's frozen. It's and it snowed a month ago, which is also very rare for Austin, and it's been nuts. It's probably the end of the world, if we're being honest.
I've heard for the past 20 years that there's global warming, and so now we're cold, so I'm with it.
Yeah.
Let's just stay cold. I'm better off at that.
I do
should we get into the headline news? Brian, did you have?
Oh man, yes. Did I have what? What did you ask if I had?
I'm gonna have to apologize. Yeah,
I've got a couple headlines.
You have any Kanye news?
Yes, it's not the best news. I don't want to break anybody's heart more than I already think Kanye's heart is broken himself. For whatever reason, Kim Kardashian has publicly announced that she's going to be celebrating Valentine's Day with her kids and not with Kanye West. I know it's a little unfortunate for Kanye. Hopefully, hopefully he gets some family time with all the shit that's going on. All hail Yeezus. Another random Kanye West front is apparently people have been auctioning or going to the Antiques Roadshow and getting his artwork appraised. And apparently, and this artwork is from when he was a kid and when he was younger. And that's the thing to do is take his artwork on Antiques Roadshow, get it appraised. Someone appraised one of his pieces at $20,000, and a small-time lawyer out of New Jersey bought it. And it's become a little bit of news around Twitter. And apparently Kanye's West artwork does generally range from anywhere $8,500 to upwards of $30,000. So it's pretty crazy that yeah, man. And it's all stuff that he did as a kid.
And he's not even he's not even an artist. He's a musician, rapper and stuff. He doesn't not known for drawing.
I could have swore that he did do some of his album artwork. Did he not? I thought that was one of his things, is that
not
he drew
that
a lot of
know of.
Oh well, man, maybe not.
I know
maybe
that
not.
the album cover to Yay, where it says that I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. I know he wrote that.
Picture. Well, yeah, he fucking did the picture. That was a picture he took on his iPhone that he was fucking
on the way
about.
to the album listening party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just in time. I didn't know
Dude,
that.
I just love that story. That was so epic. Every week we have to update our listeners on the status of Kanye West and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Are those either one of those artists on your radar?
I'd say more of Kanye, I guess, and Tekashi 6ix9ine, but
I'm not shocked there.
I feel like the last thing I really have listened to from Kanye West was what is it, Closed on Sunday?
Oh yeah, the Chick-fil-A song.
Yeah.
Jesus is king.
That's like the semi-current thing I've heard from Kanye West. But I really love Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah,
That's like one of my favorite albums, actually.
I love Ye. Ye was great. Obviously, The Life of Pablo is fantastic.
I love Ye too, and the album.
Yeah. What you got, Matt?
Did you guys see that Dance Gavin Dance and Veil of Maya re-announced their tour that had been postponed? And so now they are trying to execute this tour in September. There's no definitive word that this is actually going to go on as scheduled, but I think it is a glimmer of hope that we now have a live show booked again that's on the books, and we can sit around and wait till September and hope it goes through. I have some friends on that tour, so I'm hoping that goes underway. That would be cool. Wear a goddamn mask so we can get these shows back, people. Like, need to go back to work. And it goes over your nose. Over your nose.
It's so bad that we even have to like mention that. You know what I mean? Like, hey guys,
no, it's sad.
I don't understand what those people are like standing for, because it's like you have it like 75% of the way on your face. Like,
the best are the glass shields. The best are the glass shields that are like right here away from the face. Those are the best because they're just like,
the only thing they stand for is they don't want to be told what to do, and wearing a mask like this all day is uncomfortable, so they have to pull it down under their nose.
You best believe if I Hate the Scene is telling you how to put a fucking mask on, the world's gone to shit because we don't give a
fuck. Wear your motherfucking mask, you fucking pieces of shit out
Wear
there.
that mask. Wear that fucking mask.
If I go to Walmart and someone's in there wearing the mask inappropriately, you deserve to get bullied. Like, I will open up generic soda and dump it on you. So watch out.
If I expect everybody in Walmart to not have their mask on, so I don't know. I don't know what you expect in a Walmart.
Yeah,
I don't know what your expectations
that at Walmart. Yeah,
of a Walmart are, but mine definitely aren't masks.
Good old Walmart and the respectable, beautiful people that shop there.
Oh man.
Speaking of other things that suck, two people that got fired from their respective TV shows this week. Gina Carano got fired from the Star Wars Mandalorian. I think it's a show about DeLoreans and mannequins. She was fired from her Star Wars show this week for some anti-Semitic comments. And your boy Bam Margera was fired from Jackass 4 for substance abuse. So my question to you guys is, what's the best TV show you were fired from?
I'd probably have to say Three's Company. You know, John Ritter and I
you were slated for an epic run on that show, my friend.
We didn't get along. He was at times verbally abusive, and I just, I tried.
You're brave. You're brave for speaking up.
I don't know, the Golden Girls.
I had to go, I was like, I had to think like 80s, definitely, like that time frame. Yeah, you had to go that time.
You're both wrong. The only acceptable answer was Charles in Charge.
Oh, okay, fair.
When Jackass came out, I think I was in like grade school, somewhere around like 6th grade going to 7th, and we thought it would be fun after like seeing all the warnings of not trying this at home, if we would maybe, I don't know, try it at home. And so we would like set up a big like ramp for our bicycles and try to jump over like multiple garbage can like dumpsters. It would never work out well. We would always get hurt. But yeah, have you guys ever played Jackass?
Yeah, so shout out to DJ Nick Nixon, all the homies in high school.
Nobody knows these people.
Shout out to all my people, because sophomore year we took my friend, who was a solid 320 at the time, put him in a shopping cart and chucked him into our high school pool, and it was fucking hilarious. It was voted the second funniest moment of the year by the seniors. It was a fantastic time. So yes, of course we played Jackass. I almost say if you, there's a certain thing that can be said about the generation that grew up during Jackass, and specifically the generation of 12-year-olds to 18-year-olds during that Jackass era. You got to screw loose. Something's wrong. We're fucked up. We're going to be running the world eventually here in like the next couple of decades, and it's all fucked. Just letting everybody know.
It's going to be a sad day when we have a president in office that grew up watching ridiculousness.
Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, Bam Margera's dad took abuse to an umph degree. That's how we respect our elders. We respect our elders
Oh my God,
to the
no.
Bam
Phil
Margera
Margera?
standard. To the Bam Margera standard. I want you to know that Phil Margera was fucking
Yeah.
disgraced.
That was quite the rant.
Hey, bro, I gotta spit it like it is.
Al, were you a Star Wars Mandalorian fan at all?
Yeah, I've seen it. I thought it was very good, actually, if not better than like the last couple of movies that came out.
A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't like the movies.
See, I like them too, but I feel like I'm not really that harsh as a critic when I watch things. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
I,
We appreciate
yeah,
that.
like,
We
I'm not
appreciate that.
like putting too much thought into that kind of stuff. Like, what can I pick out of these movies like negatively? I feel like I focus on the positives more, but I don't
Good
know.
job.
I have friends that don't even respect those movies as canon, and they don't even act like they believe in them. Like they don't exist to them because they were so bad that Disney did them. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but
I feel like
Go for it,
out
no.
of those three movies, like my favorite one was Seven. I don't know. It was pretty cool to see Harrison Ford like reprise that role. So
And then died.
I'm
Spoiler alert.
also a fan of that new Blade Runner movie. It was pretty badass too.
Yes, it was. I think number 8 was probably my favorite out of all of them. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't like
It
the
was
part
really
where
cool.
Princess Leia flew through space, but the rest of it I'm okay with. You know, I wasn't offended.
Hey, Al, I'd love to hear your antithesis on Nazism and our current political structure. What do you have to say about
What
that?
the fuck?
Just because Gina Carano, I was joking. That's what she said, so I was fucking
Yeah,
joking.
definitely don't use the Holocaust as like a comparison to things that are not as brutal as losing life. That would be my suggestion to anyone with a TV show that you can't afford to lose.
Hey, Al, here's a real
don't make Holocaust comparisons. Maybe, you know.
Here's a real quick tip. You're going to be reaching stardom very shortly here, okay? If you're already
Very shortly, bro. Mystic Auras comes out next week.
Very, very well
That's
on the
crazy.
trajectory there. Here's what you don't do. Don't talk about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
That's number 1. And number 2, what's number 2, Matt? What's the big number 2?
Don't ever say aloud what your political affiliation is.
I was going for something a little funnier, but okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just straight
I feel
advice.
like, you know, people in general, they're just like, I feel like fans of anything are always, you know, you get like the people who usually support celebrities when they show their political stance, or it's more of like a fuck you for being X party. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't really know. I've never really come across the situation at all, just because I feel like it's something I don't talk about. But for most people that do like publicly advocate something, I feel like no matter what they say, usually their fans or people won't like it. So
Oh yeah, it's too divisive. You know, you're gonna piss off half your fan base somehow.
yeah,
That's why
'cause
we
it's like
took a neutral stance and just voted Kanye for the last election.
There you go.
It was the only neutral party we could take.
That was literally the only decision that you could make as a
saw-
logical adult.
I saw that he had like like 4,000 votes or something like that in each state, something crazy.
Yeah,
I was
he,
definitely the only one in my county.
he had a total of like 26,000 votes altogether. Yeah,
Wow.
he didn't pull chump numbers, but you know.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
Anyways,
I don't even think he was officially running. I think he wasn't at more or less like
He was
a
not in
joke
like
at
a,
first.
I mean, no, he legitimately was running, I think, and had the idea of running, but he did it late. He was only included in like 22 states. There was no logical way he could have won, but for whatever reason, they still did it,
That's wild.
Yeah, I think Twitch is going off the rails, man. Twitch is.
I'm trying to figure out what
I
this
don't know
person is talking
what
about.
is going on
Both of
over
my
here.
heads are disproportionate. My ding dong is like a piece of string with an anvil attached to the end of it. Very unwieldy. What remedy would you recommend? I would recommend banning this user and not fucking dealing with this shit anymore. Oh, shout out to Twitch tonight. Oh my god, I don't know what any of that means. Vermin
Oh,
Supreme
man.
and Goat versus Fish. I don't
Hey,
have a clue.
so what's your favorite item, Al, to purchase on the dark web?
I don't think
Where
I've
the
ever
hell
bought
did
anything
we
on the
get these
dark web,
questions?
so
I'm just trying to fill time,
No.
bro. I thought you were coming up with 6ix9ine news. I'm waiting for the 6ix9ine.
Oh
drop.
no, there's no
No,
6ix9ine
yeah.
news this week. He literally didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did. He released a bunch of snippets of his new songs in the studio.
Wasn't I thought that
I
was
feel
last
like I
week.
did see. I
He's
feel like I
doing
did
more.
see something about him like talking
He's doing
shit
one
on
like
other
every
rappers
4
or
days.
something like that.
Oh well,
he's
shit, y'all are
fucking
better news than me.
railing people right now.
Well, here you run the podcast.
So, anyways, on 6ix9ine news, he is dropping fucking sample after sample after sample on his tracks, and he's fully tatted up. I know you said that you were more of a Kanye fan than a
It's 6ix9ine news. He's got a bunch of samples of his new songs.
Yeah. Anyways, so you were is that a dog?
Yes, that's my dog.
Hey,
Yeah.
they can make a cameo if you'd like. We have dog
Yeah.
fans on the show, just so you know.
What's up, baby?
It's a baby. Yes,
baby?
it is.
Little chihuahua.
Oh man, and like a Jack Russell or what? That thing is dope looking.
She's a Chihuahua mix. I think
Yeah,
maybe with
dude.
like a rat terrier or something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure, a terrier.
She's definitely just really sleepy right now and full from eating. So
Hell yeah, I gotta feed the babies. What's her name?
I wonder if the guy named Jack
Nina.
Russell is like proud that there's so many dogs named after him.
Well, he was a stand-up guy, so he would. I would only hope so.
He was a stand-up comedian.
I don't know, maybe.
In other news, Brittany Spears was in jail this week. The hashtag
No, Matt. No, she wasn't in jail. No.
the hashtag Free Britney was trending. What the hell was that about?
She's a victim of like a conservatory. Like her dad owns all her shit. Actually,
What
not
does the
anymore.
venue in Santa Ana have to do with any of this?
You're thinking of the observatory. Did you just want to boot yourself? Okay, cool. So yeah, Brittany is officially not under the will of her father anymore because he's lost the bid of running her conservatory as of this last week. Did you happen to see that documentary on Hulu about her? And
I was watching a little bit of it. I think I actually fell asleep. That sounds awful to say. But
no, it's
my girlfriend was watching it, and she just sort of caught me up with what's going on, and I did see that piece of news today that she's finally free of that, which is good.
Yeah, right.
Because that was pretty fucked up. Like,
bro,
Her dad seems like a total Richard. Just
man.
a fucking Richard.
Weird shit, dude. Weird. Very weird. And I think it's extra weird. So check this out. This is super weird, and this is how you know you're getting like a weird Southern Baptist family. The mom's
Called Chris Crocker.
The mom's name is Lynn Spears. The dad's name is Jamie Spears. The daughter's name was Jamie Lynn Spears. Like, that's fucking madness. What?
That's
What
like
kind of
your
weird
parents.
family ever-
That's like your parents naming you like Cheryl Rogelio. Like it would just be so fucking strange.
I work with a girl.
You work with a girl?
Yeah.
You work?
Boot me. No, not anymore.
I was gonna say he can't even tell the fucking story he tried to tell. Oh my god. Fucking pathetic. This guy works at T-Mobile, thinks he has it hard. Do you have T-Mobile phone service?
no, I have AT&T.
Oh man, I was gonna say definitely lodge all your complaints to this guy.
We can just boot Al for having shit service.
You know, it's good that you mentioned AT&T because it's the one time I actually have news on AT&T, and it's not a joke. This is a legit segue. Check this out. This
Go for
shit
it.
tickled me. A 90-year-old man spent $10,000 on an ad in the Wall Street Journal to tell AT&T their internet speeds are slow and that they're scamming him.
That's legit.
$10,000, 2-page ad, Wall Street Journal. Told him he had been a customer since 1960. Said that he was supposed to be getting speeds that were around 200 megabytes per second, and what he clocked was 3 megabytes per second. So, as an AT&T customer, how do you get by with the cut rate bullshit, horrible internet speeds? And is that what has been slowing down our podcast?
No, because I have Xfinity for internet, Comcast.
Oh, hey, yeah, perfect.
Even
Yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Hey, Xfinity sponsors
That's clearly
NASCAR.
why
I'm
you're
with
using.
it.
That's clearly
There's
why you're
not-
using your phone, which is your AT&T internet, right? Because it's a better
Yeah.
connection than Xfinity.
Yeah, I was actually just using data now. I switched to Wi-Fi. I think I don't know what's good or bad anymore, man. You know.
You're gonna get charges, bro. You're gonna get upcharged
Yeah.
like an asshole. They're gonna fucking get you. They're gonna get you the fees.
I could definitely see myself doing something petty like this because I think all these companies are scamming us. I think they're lying about the products that they offer and shit.
No, it's
And then
rough.
when it comes to getting a refund or like getting things rectified, you're kind of just screwed. So I can understand this dude, but clearly he's got plenty of money if he's dishing out $10,000 on this ad. Have you guys ever done anything petty like this, or would you do anything petty like this? I'm gonna ask Al
No.
first. He seems to ponder. No?
Probably not,
All right,
man.
you're a way better person
mean,
than I
like,
am.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I just kind of get over things pretty easily like that. I don't know.
You're not a
'cause when
very
you
like
dwell-
dramatic person.
No.
No.
I feel like when you dwell on that kind of shit, it's just like not good for your demeanor, I guess, or the character.
Oh, totally. It'll
Yeah.
eat at you and it'll make you miserable, and you'll end up having a podcast
Yeah.
with the word hate in it.
You know what the answer to what's the pettiest thing Matt's ever done is create this show. That's what.
It was
Did
probably
you-
the first episode.
Shout
Did you-
out to your
Did
to
you
your-
start the show like because of something like that, or?
yeah, because I kicked him out of a band a couple times, so he fucking started the show.
Okay, Brian's also been kicked off the
That's funny.
podcast a couple times. What I mean, honestly, the name just came from like if you talk to enough high school aged scene kids, you know, they're gonna tell you, "Oh, I love this band. I love that band. Oh, I used to like that band. I only like their early stuff." You know, so you love all this shit about the scene. You really love the scene, but eventually, oh, I hate the scene. I don't even like it anymore. Well, you go to every show and you're wearing a band shirt every day. So how do you hate the scene? They're fucking stupid. I don't even like that band anymore. But you like made out with their singer the other night. Like, I don't understand. It's just the fickle scene kids and like the shit they say. So it's, yeah, I hate the scene, but really we're out here like supporting all these bands.
Hey,
That's
shout
awesome.
out to your Devil Wears Prada poster in the back too, my guy. That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
that shit
yeah.
is behind you, right? That shit is dope, son. That
is a
is.
gem.
Oh man,
I was
looking at that and I was like,
so bummed out because I missed the drop initially. I think actually we were going in to record Miss Gora's, and like studio is money. So I saw they released like a bundle with a vinyl and a wall flag, and I missed it. And we went out on tour for like 3 weeks after we recorded too. And when I came home from tour, it was like the day before Christmas, and they were gone. And I was like,
oh, that's tragic.
So I signed up for like the wait list for this wall flag because I wanted it so fucking badly. Like this is like their best artwork ever, and with Roots Above is like an amazing artwork too. And Dead Throne and Plagues are like obviously my favorites, but
That's
actually
Dear Love is just the bee's knees.
The example of the fickleness, right? They're a band. They're a fucking band where you either love through and through. I'm a diehard Devil Wears Prada fan. Like I love all their shit, and it's unfortunate that Mike's thrown his voice out so bad and it's like taking its toll on him. But yeah, they're a band that you either love all their shit or you're just like, nah, they stopped being good at legs.
I do. I think the only stuff I didn't really connect with was like Transit Blues, maybe.
Yeah,
I actually hated that record, and I hear a lot of people praise it. I must have just missed out on it. I don't get it.
That might be
I don't
my
like
favorite.
that. I don't like the Space EP. I got really hyped for a Devil Wears Prada concept album, and when it dropped, I hated it. I hated it a lot. I got really stoked there going back to Rise. I wouldn't say they stopped being good at a certain point. Like they're still a tremendous band. I haven't enjoyed their albums like I used to since the Zombie EP. Like Dead Throne kind of let me down. Other people love it.
Of the live streams,
I love Dead Throne.
oh, Death Throne is fucking great, bro. Their new one.
I must not get it. It's like a mainstream Prada.
And that's why it's great. because it's like it doesn't sound mainstream. It's just like this. It's like the most well polished Prada, I think.
It's funny
Do you
that you say
remember
that
going?
because I feel like the Devil Wears Prada is like one of the only sort of like metalcore scene bands that has kind of like evolved their sound and successfully, and
Yes,
just like really, they have like a really like unique sound. I feel like,
and they've kept it.
especially
They've kept
yeah, like
that
they
like a
they kind of
daunting
found
sound.
that they kind of found that on like 818. I feel like, and they kind of
Yep.
have
The
evolved on
vocals
it.
are very unique because nobody in metal sings like Jeremy at all. Like his theater background throws everything for a loop and makes it very unique. Even Mike's, before he threw his voice out, Mike's screaming was insane. The lack
His
of song
singing
structure
is,
was always awesome.
and they still do that, which is nice. They still throw the weird song structures. They still throw the, I think to that final instrumental they had with the singer from Gwen Stacy on Dear Love, and it was the closeout.
Yo, that's a band you don't hear the name of anymore. Gwen
Oh man,
Stacy.
solid albums too. But they did shit like that on their most recent album. They have this like really slow, like brooding song and then like a fat breakdown at the end, but it's like a new mathy progressive breakdown. You're not getting the old Prada. They've just progressed with taste. And they're not progressing.
Spiderhead.
They didn't Yes, bro. Spiderhead is fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you don't they didn't decide to go the easy route, which is the stadium metal, the Parkway Drive route, the drive where you're like you really are changing the sound to fit this thing, right? And what's crazy is you do listen to every Devil Wears Prada album and you're like, man, I wonder what people are going to think about this, because it is going to be different. But it's still going to be like raw and aggressive, but it is going to be different than the previous one. And it's, people are going to get triggered by it or something. But
yeah, I guess it's the same with like BMTH.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Justin said. I was wondering what Bring Me did the same. Like they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
better.
I mean, they did. They're one of the few bands that decided to take that route that isn't the stadium metal, but it is like this more mainstream.
It ended up being stadium metal, but it wasn't like arena rock like Meatloaf. Yes, finally a Meatloaf reference on this show. Random question, since you're from Lancaster, how obsessed are or were you with August Burns Red? Wow.
I feel like I'm being watched here.
I know. Dude.
I gotta tread lightly here. I don't think I was really that engaged with them at first, I must say. I think I really started kind of listening to them when Constellations was out. But I'm also I also didn't really like live in this area at first. I grew up in England and then I moved over here. So these American bands are kind of like a newer concept to me. I'm used to like bands like Funeral for a Friend and Fight Start and Shikari and stuff like that.
You should have started a band over there, dude. The UK bands are way cooler.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the States for?
For like 15 years. So I was born in Pennsylvania, but I moved over there at a young age. Like I don't even really remember most of my life over here before I moved. So
yeah.
But yeah, I do like ABR, and honestly, I think Guardians is probably one of my favorite albums that they've released because the vocals are just so fucking good on there, and I don't know, it's like a really like mean ABR type sound.
Another album, another band that has tasted or has gone tastefully into a new direction, but still
it just sounds like really, really good. Like they really took a spin on their roots, and
yes,
I don't know, it's fresh, and I just really like his lyrics on that album too.
So you weren't
They're
actually
such a killer band live.
Yeah, because
they're really good too.
They're fairly popular within the Lancaster like music scene and local community coming up, right? And so you weren't necessarily like going to school with these kids or like around when they were coming up, so you didn't necessarily get that introduction to them, which makes sense. So
yeah, I mean, pretty much like when I was in high school, they already like hit it big with like
Yeah.
Thrill Seeker and Messengers and stuff. But we do record at the same
Messengers.
studio that August Burns Red records at. We record with Carson Slovak and Grant McFarland, and they've done like the last 5 of their albums.
Yeah.
Our other vocalist Nick is actually friends with Matt Greiner.
Okay.
So
yeah.
like my brother at my brother's job, he like comes into, and they like go to Chipotle together and shit like that.
Nice.
So
I want to go to Chipotle with Matt Grant. That'd be dope.
Hey, dude, that Grant fucking connection, dude, that's legit. I saw that you guys were working with him, and I was like, oh wow, that's good. That's a good producer to be with.
Oh, Grant McFarland. Yeah, dude, he's legit. We were actually working. We've been working with Carson since 2011. Like we've done all of our releases with those guys, and while we were recording our full length and The Story Goes, just like a month before that, I think Grant actually signed on like to the Atrium Audio team. So he was kind of like a year later to our discography in a sense, but he's been there like the entire time for like all of our releases. And I think you probably know him because of Mr. the Apocalypse. Is that my guess? I don't know.
Is that the band he's in?
He used to be in Mr. the Apocalypse, yeah.
Oh yeah, because they changed their name. There's something else now.
They're Hawk.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them went to Hawk
Hawk.
either. No, because he was with Rise, wasn't he, for like a long time? And he, I'm pretty sure, got a Grammy nomination or was one of the was on the producing team.
Well, they
was pretty well recognized for.
So Carson and Grant are also in this Rise Records band called Galactic Empire, the Star Wars band.
The Star Wars band, yes, that's fucking dope.
But I think they received a Grammy nomination for 2 ABR records that they produced.
Right. Yeah, that's what
You're telling me the
that's what
Star
they're known
Wars
for.
band didn't win a Grammy? Fucking
They were
rigged
Grammy
ass
nominated.
competition.
Yeah, they were Grammy nominated. I don't know who won, but I think it was the August Burns Red Found in Faraway Places was the album that got the nomination.
Dude, The Weeknd revealed that the Grammys are all a big scam, dude. We can't even support them anymore.
Dang, did you shot down my idea of the best weekend memes, huh? They've been fire.
Oh, just because I didn't have any. I had literally like no Weeknd memes to contribute on that one. I didn't think it. People thought his performance was bad. I thought he was amazing.
Oh, I thought it was great. Oh, yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always refreshing when like these artists actually sing their vocals live, and like I saw people
isn't that nice?
I saw people like talking shit about it. I was like, "What are you even talking about? Like, do you know the things we've witnessed in Super Bowls?"
The people that were talking shit either don't listen to The Weeknd or they hate that style of music altogether.
That's probably
for a long
true,
time.
yeah.
We were getting the most boring Super Bowl acts like the Eagles, the Rolling Stones, Celine Dion. Like
Hey, my boy
even
JT Lake. My boy JT Lake had a great one.
you're talking Justin Timberlake. Yeah. Actually, the one Justin Timberlake was a part of was also a horrible fucking halftime show because it was presented by MTV and every artist performed songs that were over 10 years old. Like it didn't even make sense for the times. When Janet Jackson had the whole titty reveal, that was a shit fucking show. That was all bad. It was all bad. We can go back and revisit that on episode 72.
Bro, you didn't know that? They did it behind the Vern.
Behind the tit?
Behind the ferns, and they were like, hey, we're playing old ass songs. There's no way this halftime show is gonna go over. What are we gonna do? And someone was like, yo,
Titty.
Janet's gotta show a tit.
Yo, Janet's got these titties, bruh. And what we could do, bruh, is just reveal one. Just one.
They wanted to do both. It started off with hey, you got to take your top off, and she refused, and they were like, well, a nip's got to come out. So how are we doing this? And
Wasn't
Justin
JT
was like
there? Yeah, he was there for that.
I'll rip it. He said, I'll rip it.
He ripped it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, hashtag
he ripped a little pasty off her nip.
I didn't hear her ask for that. I didn't hear her say, hey, will you rip my tit out? I didn't hear that. Did she?
Yeah,
did you
she
guys
didn't consent to that. JT, I'm looking at you.
I didn't hear consent.
That reminds me, this episode of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by consent. Yes, making men gentlemen since forever. We also, Brian, I know you're going to be stoked for this one. Check this out, guys. We picked up a new sponsor for this episode and this episode only. So this episode of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by... Yeah, we're going to be canceled after this. This episode of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by Gorilla Glue Shampoo, showing you what not to do till 2022. Are you ready?
What?
You ready for the final sponsor?
I saw the pictures.
I mean, you know, I feel bad for the girl, but she kind of put herself right in that situation.
What are you talking about?
Okay, good. I'm not getting into that. This episode is also brought to you by A Scent Like Wolves Mystic Auras, now with 25% more auras in every CD. So get that next Friday. It's due out February 19th.
Yeah. We'll do our best.
I have some really good news too. McDonald's is bringing back their High C orange drink, which is really, really good news for my mom, since she has to always put up with my crying in the drive-thru when I order my Happy Meals and they don't have my drinky. The drink was first introduced.
Had that for a while?
No, they actually got rid of it in 2017. It hasn't been on the menu at all. But the drink was first introduced in 1955. It's been around forever. So have you guys ever had this drink with your Happy Meal? Was it a Happy Meal staple for you like it is for me to this day?
I have diabetes.
Wow, way to bring us down.
Yeah, see? Zero sugar.
Oh my God! Wow! I might as well have just said a slur.
I've definitely had it before. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Wow! I just feel like a total fucking idiot. I'm gonna have to throw out this Betty Crocker news.
You might boot me. You might boot me because I missed the drink entirely. So I got to ask, what drink are we talking about?
Oh, son of a bitch! This drink has been around since 1955, and it's like the perfect drink
right?
for. Yeah, it's the orange high C drink.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, high C.
Yeah, that bums me out.
Yeah.
That's the only place you can get high C. I'm pretty sure is at a McDonald's. Pretty sure that's the only place they exist.
I'm pretty sure you can get them at Target in 1997.
There you go.
In other news, Lil Uzi Vert, Brian's favorite rapper, you know, the guy with the pink diamond. Lil Uzi Vert says Jay-Z compared him to Prince. And Lil Uzi Vert is asking for all of us to call him Little Prince. So this is what it sounds like when doves cry.
I have the quote. Oh, that was good. I have the quote. I have the quote that Jay-Z actually said immediately after. Yeah, because they're both dead, nah?
Oh, fuck.
That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one.
No.
And Al, and as I'm sure Al knows, since he listens to our podcast every single week, last week we were discussing that Prince's white dove divinity died. Here's the kicker, though. His dove was 28 years old. His dove was older than my girlfriend. How? So we had our unpaid intern. You're not paid, right? Make sure you're not paid. We had our unpaid intern look it up and find out the average lifespan of a dove. It's a year to 30 years. It's just a fucking 29-year gap, man. That's huge. As a dove could live anywhere from like adolescence into full blown get a rental car.
Who calculated that?
I don't know.
That's
man,
what I was
tell you, they spent a lot of time with doves.
We looked this up, and I was like, "What?"
I think there needs to be more research. I don't know. It's from my perspective, I guess.
I guarantee you, they use Dove soap and they eat Dove chocolate. Thank you.
Okay, so anyways, Al, why don't you go?
I have one more piece of news, and then we can move on to the most interesting part of the podcast, and that'll be Al himself. The only bit of news I have, and this is kind of stupid to me, so hopefully you agree. Y'all familiar with Little Bow Wow? Dropped the little, just became Bow Wow. He's
yeah.
I want to use this term loosely. He's a rapper. He tweeted out recently that when he drops his next album, it'll be his last, and he plans to retire from music. He then said he would put 100% effort into training for the WWE. He has all the plans to join WWE and he wants to become a tag team champion with Rey Mysterio, who is like 48 years old. He probably watched Rey when he was a kid and thought that shit was cool. So one, do you believe him? Because I kind of don't. And do you think this would even be a good idea? For context, right now, Latin music star Bad Bunny is involved heavily in WWE and will be for the next couple months. It's gone over really well. He's sold out all of his merch and made over Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
He's getting ready for a WrestleMania match, and he's teamed up with Damian Priest. He also sold $500,000 of merchandise in one night.
Wow. I like it. You know, I thought
I just want to see him get beat up.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna go full force into it, definitely, man. I think that would be cool. You know, I mean,
I think he should be managed by Colonel Robert Parker.
Are you a wrestling fan, Al, by chance?
That's so. When I lived in England, that was like all the rage, but I just never really got into it. To be honest with you, I tried, but I just wasn't really a fan.
Well, hey, it's been a great interview. It's been great speaking.
Yeah. And how old are you, if you mind me asking?
I'm 28.
Okay, so you're right there.
Like a month.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we're 30, bro. 33. Like, I imagine
hey,
you're
speak
like,
for yourself. I tell chicks I'm 25, bro.
You've never been scunnered, sir? Like, you've never. I feel like you've got.
You never jumped into a pool and did an elbow drop?
Dude, no, like.
Oh, miss it out, Al.
No.
All right,
You know,
all right. We're the weird ones. It's just us.
My friends were into that, but I just really wasn't like. I don't know.
Hey, if there's ever an inclining within you to want to go down a wrestling journey, there's no better place to start than mid-90s wrestling. So, and if you need a starting point, you come to us and we will let you know what to do.
Brian just wants to hang out with you. He's very lonely.
I mean, sometimes, you know, I feel like this is the start.
Brian, you're 30, dog. You look like you're 18.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't look a day over being legal.
I'm 33. So
really,
God, if I was in a pop punk, Brian, I'd groom you right now. Should we get started on the interview portion, or did you have any more news?
No, let's go. I want to hear about this fucking new album, and I want to hear about A Scent Like Wolves. So let's go.
Beautiful. So, A Scent Like Wolves, you guys, for us at least, encapsulate what we love about this scene and this genre. I don't know if this sounds weird or insulting, but you reminded us of the bands that we were really obsessed and really loved back from like 2009, that you carried that kind of similar style, that you don't really have a gimmick or bullshit. That's kind of just about like decent vocals and having a cool style. Did you always want to be in like this metalcore type of sound? Was that like a goal? Like, did this band turn out the exact sound you wanted? How did all that go down?
Yeah, I think like now more so like the later half of A Scent Like Wolves, probably like this is, I feel like, how we always wanted to sound. I think maybe when bands kind of start out at first, especially we did, like finding your identity is kind of hard. Just because you want to kind of like encapsulate all these different like genres and like other bands that you're into, I guess, that have kind of inspired you. And especially at a young age that we were when we first started the band, we were like 17 and 18. I think when I actually started the band, I was I just turned 18, so I've been doing this for like almost 11 years now. It seems crazy to me too, because I've had to work so hard to just get to this point, and I feel like a lot of bands kind of get lucky and they do stuff like on a whim like that and become successful. So to kind of like keep chipping away at it like this whole time is just made me feel a little insane. But the earlier like stuff we did, I feel like had some more like elements like mathcore or like thrash or something too. One of my favorite bands is Heavy Low Low, and I kind of
oh my god,
I kind of
drop.
drew some like yeah. So but I'd say like as a collective, like we were into bands like, you know, like Asking Alexandria, BMTH, Devil Wears Prada, and stuff like that at the time too. So we were definitely like
Heavy Low Low.
Like,
yeah,
me too. Yeah,
they're so weird. Like, it's just like a weird genre.
Yeah.
Like
that. I mean,
them, though, they were interesting. Like it was just something I never really heard at the time. Especially like when I heard some of their songs from Turtnip, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, this is cool. So
Were you about to say
but
Turtle Nipple and Toxic Shock?
yeah. Like yeah, like there's some real like at first when I listened to Turtnip, I don't think I liked it that much, but
Turtnip.
I went back and listened to it again, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking cool. Like they have some really cool riffs on there.
Only the real
So
heavy low fans know about that term, Turtnip.
yeah. Well, yeah. Is there? I feel like there's a song called Turt, Giant
They
Mantis
have
versus
the
Turnip or
dumbest
something like
song and
that.
album titles.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I beg to differ that fucking Horse the Band was pretty ridiculous. Also, a
yeah.
band that kind of had that weird, obscure sound that I definitely went back to Horse the Band and went, okay, they're pretty good. It did take me a couple listens to get into them. You guys do,
I saw them live before Horse the Band, like in 2009 or something like that. Awesome band.
yeah, they're dope. You guys do have this. Like you did, if you were pulling from inspirations and pulling from bands, you guys definitely have a mid 2000s inspiration. I think of
It's funny
tours that,
because like people have been saying that a lot lately. Like I don't know what it is. I guess is like like when I listen to the songs, I don't really hear that, but maybe it's just like the kind of era that we grew up in, like listening
oh,
to
bring
these
it on.
bands and
We've been
stuff.
we've been
So
preaching this post-hardcore thing, man, for the last probably year now. Like it's going to come through a revival, I think, and you guys are particularly standing out because you're doing it in a way that resembles what post-hardcore is. It resembles this, or at least transition to, in Fear and Faith, Skylit Drive. I want to, I'm going to like Blinded Black. I'm going to fucking those real, even
Oh,
the bands that
Blinded
didn't even,
Black.
yeah, and I already said In Fear and Faith, but we can talk fucking whoever. All these bands that were, it was between 2006 and 2008, every band was fucking dope. Every little post-hardcore band was good, but it was a lot of identity crisis. It was a lot of bands figuring themselves out. A lot of follow-ups didn't sound the same. A lot of follow-ups
Oh
flopped,
man, how
or
many
they
bands from
just
that
like,
era dropped a follow-up
oh,
album that they're like,
fucking
"Oh, we're gonna change your sound. We're gonna progress,
everybody.
and now we're gonna do melodic noisecore ambient shoegaze." Yeah, that's what has the fans clamoring. Thank God you did that.
Was there anything you guys were trying to avoid when like I know it's been 10 years and a lot of evolving, I'm sure, but what do you guys try to avoid when
S-
developing a sound or
Besides scandals,
yeah, yeah. Uh,
well, I think like
he's like, nah, we do those all the time.
I, I think like when we go to make these albums, we sort of already have like, I mean, I'm just like sort of crazy with this kind of shit. Like before something comes out, like I already have like an idea of like what we should go for next and like what our album cover and stuff looks like that. So like, I already have that idea right now, which is a good sign for me because like usually I like to be prepared like that and think of the future. And like lately I wasn't, and I was getting kind of worried, like, oh fuck, like could this be the last one that we do, type of thing. But yeah, it's kind of just like more of a let's do this kind of vibe, but like expand on certain elements, and we'll just kind of take examples from like other songs and we'll chat about it and see what we can do. Like, for instance, this one for this one, like we were actually supposed to make our EP Spirit Vessel a little heavier than we wanted, and some of the tuning is actually an F sharp. Like it does have
Oh,
like a
wow.
really heavy guitar tone to it. But I feel like it didn't come out as heavy as we planned to, but that's okay because I feel like when you force things, like it just doesn't really sound that good or like doesn't sound right.
you never want to be heavy for heavy's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
I
feel
mean,
like things aren't
you
natural that way either. So,
Nah.
there's nothing
but
about the band I think either that screams overly heavy. Like your guys' songs where it is, maybe a little bit more clean and organized and poppy, but then you've got like a thunderous breakdown at the end. Like those are some of the ones that stand
yeah,
out to me because that's what we at least for me, what I appreciated about that kind of era of music is it wasn't, you got so many carbon copies of Devil Wears Prada and Attack Attack and all these bands that kind of set the standard for sound. and nobody did anything that just was like good quality, good quantity. And with your guys' sound, I think that that's something that is it's prevalent because you're doing it in a way that stands out, but it doesn't stand out for standing out's sake, if that makes sense. It's not, you guys didn't do it to stand out. You guys are just writing your music, and but it just replicates
Exactly.
that feeling, if anything.
When I listen to the
Yeah, man.
album, the
Yeah.
exceptionally heavy parts are all like kind of the guest features. I mean, aside from like Booker's feature, whenever somebody comes on, that's when it's like it gets really heavy. I dig
And I
it.
have not
Yeah.
heard that yet.
I
will say
don't
I
know if
have
it was
not
like,
heard. So
I don't know if it was like planned that way either, because I think like some of these parts, like I mean, some of these like guest parts that you hear, we actually like track them just in case too. Like me and Nick will actually do the part, but just keep it on like the back burner. And we like, I mean, this album's kind of been in the works for about 3 years, so we already kind of had an idea of who we wanted to guest vocal for, and we had money saved up for it and stuff. And part of the theme is like what drives people's desires, and that's sort of like where the album takes you. And that type of aura on the front cover for me like reminds me of like other parts of the world and stuff too. So that's where we got our guest features from: Australia, France, America, and originally before Brian from Currents, we were going to get Kevin Crossfaith, so he's from Japan. So we kind of wanted to like blend all these like different vocalists from different countries together on this album too. And that's kind of like what it just kind of reminds me of. You know, like what drives your desire? Like, is it love? Like money? Like just kind of topics like that. But um, going back to what you said about making music, like yeah, we just want to make music that we like and want to experiment with. And I think it's cool that we always go into the studio with like a fresh idea for a release. And we like concepts, and we don't want to play like the single game where we're just like, oh, hey, we're just putting out the single, guys, so we can rack up the views, the plays on Spotify. It's like, like we don't give a shit about that. Like we're like 30 years old, and I think for us it's more of like a passion project at this point too. But it's also like a really serious band in terms of business too. So I was kind of telling somebody else the other day, we're just kind of like this Gundam robot that moves super slow.
Yeah.
We kind of like we like watch every step now and then everything like that. So yeah, I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
you brought up
Crazy stuff.
the concept of the album because I thought that was interesting. Like what draws people to different things. With that concept, did you learn anything? Like completing this album, like with that concept in mind?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was kind of going through like a hard period of my life, especially like writing these songs too. And for the first time, we haven't really we didn't really write songs before, just like talking about our feelings and things of that nature. Spirit Vessel, for example, was about more or less it's pretty political about the environment. We talk about religion, things like that, war. Um, but for this one, Nick, who is my actual brother, he's the other vocalist of the band. Um, it's kind of weird, like having to write with your brother about things like that, like sex and stuff. You know what I mean? Like relationship type deals. But for instance, Bloom is about how his girlfriend lives in Missouri and they have a long distance relationship. And at the time, my girlfriend moved into an apartment without me. So I kind of felt the same way, and we didn't exactly live close by. So I feel like, to answer your question, yes, like I feel like I learned a lot about myself, especially because I was single then when we were recording this record. And I don't know, man, it's really weird. Like I feel like I've never really had to like go on like a journey like that before in my life. And I know that kind of sounds cliche because we're like talking about making an album or something, but at the time for me it was true. Like I didn't even want to get up and like go to the studio to record it like some of these days. And it's interesting because some of these songs, like the lyrics we did on the fly. Like, I remember driving my car to the studio one of the last days we were there, and Nick and I were just like writing the lyrics to Aquamarine like while we were fucking driving in my car, and I'd just be like blasting the instrumentals. But also we work good under pressure, and some of the best moments like that from the album came because of that type of situation. So Yeah, definitely learned a lot about myself in particular.
Do you have a favorite song off the record? You brought up Bloom. That's definitely one of my favorites. I also like Deja Vu. Um, but yeah, it's a solid record. It's full of some bangers. I haven't got to pass the advance to Brian yet, so he's only heard the stuff that's like on iTunes right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
Brian, I
don't know.
hope you like it, man.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
was gonna
You
say
get
I
a
haven't
message in
listened
a
to the new
week.
one.
Mad disappointed, bruh.
Yeah,
Should have
I
kept
feel
more
like if
more
you-
posts, bro. Should have
yeah.
kept more posts.
I feel like if you
Really, hey,
start,
it's really not like your older stuff, bro. Really not like the older stuff.
That's got to be
you
the
know?
worst thing to say to a band. It doesn't sound like your old stuff. Well, yeah, that's the point.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember very vividly. Yeah, I'm gonna get.
I don't
probably-
remember ever.
I'm gonna probably get booted because I'm bringing them up for the 3078th time. But Thrice, when they
Oh,
were
God.
recording one of their albums, commented on that. There we go, 4,571 times. Sorry. So they commented on it and they said it was an interview and they said what are two like annoying things that the fans do, and one they said they request to hear Deadbolt live way too much because and that's like a joke now that they request Deadbolt. And the second was that fans will tell them, oh, your album doesn't sound like your last one or whatever, or your early stuff. And their response to it was, yeah, because we're not writing that album anymore. And like that resonated with me in a way because they're my favorite band. And like, of course I love their heavy stuff, but I every album they do, I think because they said that is like, oh, I appreciate it now. I appreciate every piece because you were like, yeah, that's not my desire to do that. So I think that's where it's not like your old stuff comes into play because it is hard. Again, it's emotional. You're writing about stuff that's going to click with us. And then we're going to go, fuck yeah, Al. Al feels the way I feel. And that's what fucking allows me to release my frustrations and shit, right? And then when you write some sappy stuff, I'm like, what the fuck, Al? What the hell, man? I'm still sad over here. And you're fucking writing sappy stuff? You're in love now? What the fuck? So.
Yeah, I feel like the way we did it was more, I guess like tasteful in that like sense. Like the Dissolve is kind of more of like the first time we've actually done sort of like a ballady type track on any of our albums, and Buka from Make Us is on there. It's almost kind of like a duet. Like she sings like the second verse part, and then she does my harmony vocals through the bridge and the chorus and stuff. So it was pretty cool for me to actually do a whole track with another vocalist fully through the whole thing. And I think that's probably like one of my favorite songs because it's kind of something that we haven't really done before yet on this album. But apart from that, I think like one of my other favorite songs is Telephone, and I'd have to say like to describe Mystic Aura as like, or if you had to say like what song represents the album the most, probably Bloom. It's kind of one of like the first songs we wrote with like the new like idea for the sound, I guess. And what we were really trying to go for on this one was just a little bit more tuned up, back to like an A sharp feel, but with like Angels and Airwaves or like U2 sounding delayed guitars over some of these technical heavy parts that we were writing. Because at the time we were actually doing this, I don't really know if I never really heard any type of music like that before. But yeah, like synth definitely came into play a lot, and backing track risers behind these songs and stuff. So I would definitely say like those are probably like my three favorite songs on the album, all written by three different people too.
Oh wow, well, and it's true synth too. Your synth is fucking. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
That's what
I
hooked
feel
me.
like-
That was the
I
first
feel
thing
like
that took. I was like, holy shit.
Every album kind of ends in that traditional like Ascent Like Wolves sense too, where we go out on like chimes and like strings too. So we did that on this one a little bit as well.
Nice, yeah.
A lot of times when I see guest features, on a rap album, it kind of means something else. If you see like a guest feature in every song, people typically give that rapper shit for doing it. You guys have 4 guest appearances. Looking at the back of the CD, it's one of the things that like catches your eye first. I thought it was really interesting, and I like each of the guest appearances because it doesn't take away from the song. It literally adds to what you're already doing. It's not like you brought them on there for name's sake. You literally had like good creative art to make with them to collab on. So I enjoyed it. I'm gonna bring up a guest feature, and you can tell me what you liked most about it.
Okay.
Bloom featuring JTKV from Era.
Yeah, that
Kind of just
one, I
touched
think
on that one.
that one was kind of more of one of the first songs we actually had as a pre-pro, but I think it was the second song we recorded in the studio for this album, and I think intentionally we kind of had that last big heavy part open for him, and it's sort of weird. Like some of these people we did know before making this album. JT, I feel like was more of an acquaintance for us, and his previous band Texas in July recorded with Brent and Carson before. So
Are they also from your area?
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're from Lancaster.
Okay.
Yep.
ABR Junior.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
I
the
think that
last
was
album
the
was like really, really, really cool. Blood Work.
yeah, and I'm
I thought it
excited
was
that they said they're coming back. I'm pretty excited about it. Or that they're
Oh,
gonna do
really?
something. They said that they're gonna do like a 10-year show or like a reunion show, and then bring back like
Just
kind of
give me
like
drum solos.
settle the sky a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Texas in July is
I
sick,
know
dude. I
that.
found like their EPs and then seen that they had signed to Equal Vision. I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna get like a real CD now. They're dope. I like
Yeah.
them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's who doesn't like that ABR drumming style? That shit is dope.
I feel like I feel like it probably has inspired a lot of these metalcore drummers, like now at least. But when we made this song, I had Grant McFarland text JT about doing it, and he was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And then he texted me like the next day about it, and I believe he got his vocals back to us then within like a week or two, and
Oh wow.
yeah, it just sounded like it was like such a good fit for his art, and it sounded super sick. We
Had
made
you
a
guys
video
toured with
for
Era
it
before?
too.
Like you don't really know them?
No, I don't think we've actually played a show with Era before, but we played a show with like a lot, like shows with a lot of these fucking like scene bands that you guys have been talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of
Like
your festivals you played.
like
Yeah,
a
with
lot.
Asking and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Era is like a band that we kind of missed playing with, and Of Mice and Men, and some of like the bucket list bands for me, like growing up in that kind of time period. But
Totally.
uh, we
I
were
just
trying to at least hop on like one of the shows they were doing with Crystal Lake and North Lane somewhat recently. But I
that would
think
have
the
been a really
promoter,
good tour for you as far as your
yeah,
sound goes. That would have been
I was gonna
cool
say
blend.
if you're
I
kind of
think
going opposite spectrums, you guys are on the post-hardcore vibe, and Era is one of the ones leading the metalcore vibe right now. Like them and Invent Animate. I mean, Kingdom of Giants. That newer sound of
Ascent Like
metalcore.
Wolves lives at that spot that's directly between post-hardcore and metalcore. Like I have a really hard time dropping either title on you
I don't know if
because
we're
it's
yeah.
like
doing
as
this.
soon as I
But
think it's one, it's the other.
I don't know if we're going to do this or not, but we were going to name our fantasy tours that you guys would have been on had you existed in 2005 to 2010. And it's literally with every band. It's Attack Attack, Devil Wears Prada, Drop Dead Gorgeous. You're on every
Yeah.
when
I put you
Tasty,
guys with
Oceana,
Hawthorne Heights just because I
Hawthorne
have a really
Heights.
good writer for that tour.
Fucking, you could get on probably a thrice brand new show or some crazy shit. You're definitely playing every festival. You're for sure playing the Artery Foundation Across the Nation tour. You're probably
Oh
going to be
yeah,
doing
yeah. You guys would have been an Artery and a Rise band for sure.
for sure doing Bamboozle and Bamboozle Left.
We almost got signed to Victory Records for Frigid Future. They were just kind of like
Bro,
they were kind of just
Wow.
like they were kind of just like had us
How'd you
on the
dodge
back.
that bullet?
Yeah, I mean it's something we were actually interested in for the time, but
I mean that's a name, that's a label, bro.
yeah.
I mean,
So
if you're wise,
yeah,
you think about it.
yeah. I don't think our music was like well produced back in like I should say like the
Oh, then you
songs
would have been
were.
perfect for Victory.
Yeah, yeah. I think like the songs we were making back in like 2011 when we like submitted to Rise and shit, like they weren't interested, but I feel like we could have been one of those Rise bands with Anastorios and stuff, and just kind of missed the mark. And I don't know. It's really weird, man. Like just being in this industry, a lot of labels don't want to take a chance on you, especially if you don't have like all this crazy like bullshit hype that most of these bands just become like big because like their vocalist is popular or something like that, and we don't want to be one of those bands. Like we just want to be popular. Yeah, we just want to be popular because people like the music and stuff. So.
The new AP Top 100 I want to throw open my mouth. It's so many gross bands.
Oh
and
man,
so many,
they don't even feature good bands anymore, dude. Like they feature the same 5 artists that paid to be in that. You know what? That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
I'm just being
exactly.
bitter.
You guys actually got a little bump from AP though, right? You were featured in like
they took our song Poison, and I think they just shared it on their Facebook or something like that. But for us, it's still cool because I don't really think that they've ever like written an article about us. And I mean, for what you were just saying, for reasons like that. But money and stuff. But
well, I got 5 on it, bro. If you want to get that article, I know Brian will throw 5 on it. We got $10 on that article happening right now. We will go to Columbus and hand deliver it to AP's offices. I'll pay him right next to all those suppressed Austin Carlisle stories, and we'll get you guys that feature. I've probably already said too much.
Do people even like follow up on that anymore? Though that's kind of what I was.
They hate them.
Like I don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't even know if people follow magazines like that at all, or like those. Sort of like
there's subscriptions $4 a month. And you get it delivered to your house, and they encourage that you use it as fire fuel when you need it.
And for some reason, every single copy of their magazine smells like the back of Youngblood's tour bus. Anyways, with all that you've said about the song Bloom, would you say that Bloom might be the most emotional song on the record?
I think for me, probably, yeah. That's
good enough for me.
It's kind of just like a weird thing, like I said, like writing like lyrics with Nick, in that sense. But I think Bloom, we actually wrote them together in the same room for like usually it takes us like a few hours or more to do that. But yeah, just like the lyrical content of that song, for sure, and. It's really cool that we got JT to feature on that because Era Drift is one of my favorite albums, and I don't think I actually listened to them until we did somewhat play the same festival as them, but not on the same day. It was South by So What in Texas.
Oh yeah,
They played like the following day, but
I think your sound blends really well with them. Like if there was a co-headliner, that would be cool as shit because it blends very well.
You guys are saying like post-hardcore, but I feel like we consider ourselves more of like a progressive metalcore band, I guess. Just because our guitars are like somewhat technical. Like Jeff's writing style is like,
and the drop tuning,
insane.
The drop tuning puts you in there too. Like you're definitely more on the core side.
It's definitely metalcore. It's just there's enough emphasis on the vocals that you'd be like, oh, I could believe this is post-hardcore.
Post-metalcore,
soaring vocals.
But like,
post-metalcore.
I feel like But yeah, like most of those bands, like you guys mentioned too, like I feel like I read a post earlier. Sorry, it's been a kind of a busy day, but I read like Seosin and some other bands. Like I didn't really like listen to Seosin that much. I do like the EP with Anthony Green, obviously, but
7 years.
Yeah, like In Search for Solid Ground, and I think was the other one like self-titled or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Brian's the Seosin mark. I'm with you. I didn't listen to them when they were really popular.
Most of you guys are saying the name wrong. It's Seosin, but okay.
Okay, I'm gonna boot you for that. I don't care if it's Seosin or Seoshin or Sausin. From now on, it's Sausin.
Is that actually how it's pronounced?
Most likely it is because he worships the ground that spider logoed band walks on.
It's a fucking beetle.
Whatever. You know who else had a beetle for a logo? The fucking Beetleborgs. The next guest appearance I'm going to ask you about. I'm gonna butcher this dude's name. Deja Vu featuring Mateo from Movements. Gelsomino, you said?
His name's Mateo. I think it's Gelsomino.
Gelsomino. Okay. I was gonna butcher that last name, but yeah, he's dope. What do you like best about Deja Vu?
I think Deja Vu I think Nick actually said this in some other like interview we had recently, but he was kind of saying like it's more like a statement song for us, like hold on guys, like we're still heavy type of thing. And I don't think that we actually like write those songs just to be like that. Like that's just one that turned out to be heavier. And we kind of talk about like these bands that have just been like buying onto tours and using their parents' money to do this shit that are making all these younger bands with actual talent like struggle. I'm not saying like we're one of those bands. Maybe we are if you guys think that, but it's just kind of like insane to me that even kind of occurs. And I know the industry is kind of taking a dive that way, where these music industry people are desperate for cash, that they just want to hook up all the bands with money. But like whatever happened to like the actual talent and like the hard work, grinding from the bottom up. So that's kind of what we talk about in the song.
It's an interesting discussion to have, because I feel like all these labels like Arise and okay, we're going to put Victory to the side. That's a whole nother boat. But I feel like all these little indie labels at one point kind of had the artist's best interests and really grew their bands. And somewhere along the line, the indie labels started operating just as skeevy and undermining as the major labels. And the whole game, I wouldn't say it changed. It just became the same thing on every format. And now you're seeing, like, there's so many bands that I listen to that if they don't sell that 25 to 35,000 the first week, the label immediately pulls their support. And that band, like, when they need it the most, now they don't have the advertising. They can't pay back any of the shit that was done for them. Their CD tanks, and then they're done, and the band has to break up. And none of the fans ever think about it or realize what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, the industry's kind of fucked in a way.
Not to mention, for the scene anyways, you get young kids. Like you mentioned the band that you're into being a serious business, and it's something that you guys take very seriously, and it's taken 10 years of dedication and hard work. When you get these labels and these managers handing over contracts to kids and telling them they're going to sign them up and give them an allowance and they're going to fucking record an album, but then they have no wherewithal on how to manage themselves, let alone a fucking band, right? And if you're a band that doesn't have proper representation or management, I mean, you're only set up for failure, unfortunately.
Or they think that getting signed is the end goal, where normally when you get signed, the work begins.
You guys mentioned...
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Sorry, go ahead.
You guys were mentioning that, you're trying to make that claim that it's about the hard work and the dedication. But what sucks at the same time is when the industry leaders, the label reps, the execs, when they've realized they've dug themselves in this hole, which is ultimately what they did. If you look at past rosters for a lot of labels, it's astronomical, because Matt's right. They would sign one band, give them their loan, give them their album front, and then it wouldn't do as successful as they thought, but they already had 4 or 5 other bands signed on, ready to put money into. So, and especially, like, let's be real, when the labels started going down, it's when they were signing every generic sounding band.
It's when they started signing acts like Kesha. Let's be real, okay? As soon as Kesha's TikTok came out, the whole world went south. Now we have an app called TikTok, okay? And it ain't no coincidence.
Dang.
I love Mateo's line in Deja Vu, I think. Just the part where he says, "Fake as your pain and the stories they sing," just kind of like really spoke to me when I read that. And he was kind of like mentioning that he's kind of a heavy smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, I just like really want all my vocals to sound natural that way because I smoke. That was really cool to me, because I've never really had like somebody say that to me before about like them doing their vocals. And I think he actually sent me like a video of him smoking a cigarette, and he was like kind of like humming the lines, like the melody lines to the part. But I think like out of all the guest vocals, like his lyrics are like really, really fucking good, and they're kind of like out of pocket. I forget what one of the lines is, but he was like, "You can't shine brighter than the gold on your hands," and I was like, "Yeah, this is like really cool." I never really heard like people kind of like talk about this kind of stuff. So, but I feel like it's also a topic that most of these musicians can relate to, and I feel like Novelists is a band that also probably had to work hard to get what they were getting, and the end result was they signed to Sharptone, and I think Matt actually like isn't in the band anymore, but yeah, like his part is just super fucking heavy, and I think that's what I love about it, because he's got an amazing clean singing voice too, and we wanted to make sure that he at least did a couple of clean lines on the song as well.
I've always wondered when it comes to the guest features and the vocals that you guys, prep when involving other people, how much creative influence do you guys have on that? Like, do you go to someone like a JT or a Mateo and say, hey, you guys write the lyrics, just make sure it fits the melodies, whatever? Or do you actually have some creative, like, hey, we want you to keep it this style? How deep were you involved in the features?
Well, I guess I should say it like this. I really love JT's part too. I think his lyrics are really good also.
Mm-hmm.
But usually like when I approach these people, I feel like it's more organic in a sense. Like for instance, we played a show with Novelists a couple of years ago, and I brought Matt Cold Medicine to the show, and he was like so stoked on that. We've been friends like ever since. So while we were recording this song, I kind of hit him up about it, and he was like, "Oh, like fuck yeah, I'll do this. Like that's cool." So that's kind of like how almost these guest vocals have been coming out. Like Brian from Currents, we've been friends with Currents for a while, and
they're so dope.
I just straight up sent him a message. I was like, "Yo, dude, like, you wanna hop on this?" And he was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, dog!" And he did it in like 2 days. It was like the fastest fucking guest feature turnaround of all time. But,
I really like his. What did you like about Death Effect?
Death Effect is more like actually. I think what I like the most about Death Effect is that it's Nick's song, and that he pretty much was in charge of all the writing, and he does like 90% of the screaming on it. Because Dissolve is sort of like my track, and Nick isn't on it at all. But for these people that do these features on Mystagoras, I don't really like telling other vocalists like, hey, you've got to do this part that I wrote. And I would be super fucking bummed if a band came to me and kind of said that. Actually, a band did like this past week. They hit me up through that website Featured X, and they had a part for me to do. And it's not that I didn't like the part. I was kind of just like, hey, like, I know I charge more for like if I actually write the melodies and like a part, but I'll just do this one for like free. Like that charge doesn't matter. Like I'll just do it and just write it for what you've already paid for.
Isn't that what they're paying for anyways? Is for you to be an artist?
Yeah, essentially. But you can also like make like a lower charge where it's like I'll just do this type of feature that you have lined up if that's what your idea is. Like
the less work for you, the less charge, right?
Yeah, don't go cut rate when writing a song.
Exactly. But I kind of thought about that this week, and I was like, you know what? Like, I think I'm just gonna ask them if I can do it, because it'll just make for a better song, and I'll feel better about it. And that's what I feel about these guest vocals too. Like, we haven't once actually sent over something that was done like that. We've always just been like, hey, I want to see what you can come up with, because I know it's going to sound awesome.
Here's your spot. Go for it.
But yeah, those people are going to be so much more invested, and they're going to feel the song like 100% more on an emotional level. And I want to hear that shit. Like I want to hear that surprise. It's like morning.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Plus, you telling the kid, hey, you know what? I'll just write the part and not charge is your nice way of saying that his shit sucked. So, anyways, what we got next, man?
The guest appearance, I think that everyone would be looking forward to if they looked on the back of the CD, would be Dissolve featuring Book of Nile from Make Them Suffer. This is one of the songs that is currently not available on iTunes. So everyone's been asking me what it sounds like, because I have the advanced stream that I cannot share with you. So stop asking me, people. The song's dope. It's very emotional. It's kind of like a duet. What did you like most about Dissolve?
I guess primarily that I got to sort of be in charge of doing all the vocals on it, instead of like having to worry about like somebody else's parts and writing. Just because Nick has been in the band for so long now. He wasn't actually in it initially, but we absorbed him into our band, I think in like 2011 or 12.
Kind of like when Compact absorbed Pac Bell. And he just got up and left.
He just booted himself. He's out.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was cool that I just got to kind of just be in charge of like having my own song, and like I was saying earlier, Death Effect is his own song, and I only do I think the real heavy low screams on Death Effect and in the bridge, and I back him up in some spots, but other than that, like I think it was just a cool concept for me and him to just be like, yeah, let's just see what we can come up with on our own songs here, because I already knew that I was going to do this song by myself, and our guitarist Blake, me and him were talking about getting her on this song for like a long time, and it actually happened. Then I saw her post something about some sort of like somebody asked her if she'd do like a guest vocal or something, and I was like, oh hey, like we have met like at a couple shows before, like we've chatted and we were like, you know, like acquaintance, like internet friends before then. But I just sort of hit her up and I was like, hey, like, you know, we just did this song. Would you be interested on it? And she cleared it with Make Them Suffer's management, and just got to work on it. And I think it sounds awesome, because I don't think we've actually had we haven't had like I guess like a woman sing on any of our tracks before. We've just had dudes. So for me, I was just like a really cool experience, and like I'm thankful that she did the guest vocal. Sounds awesome.
I think that girl's going to be really sought after for guest appearances in the near future. I just see her skyrocketing. So you have got to meet her in person?
Yeah, I think they played Philly in 2017 with Enterprise Earth, and I talked to her there. But I also they played with Era, I think, like a year later in Baltimore, and I went to go out and play, and I was chatting.
Is she
with, like,
just as pretty in real life?
Without question. Yeah.
All right. She was Brian. Whatever
question.
happened with that? She was on a dating show.
Yeah, she went on some dating show in fucking Australia where dude, she's been getting a hype.
Guys in Australia are a little nicer, right?
She is very pretty. Hell no, mate.
No, mate, I'm from Perth, mate.
No, mate. We're fucking bloody out of here, mate.
Yeah, I saw that post recently, and I was like, oh. All right, well.
Real quick, I got a real quick side question. Your Wikipedia page says that you're associated with Chris Franzak from fucking Attila. How? Is that accurate?
He's my landlord.
Franz is, Franz is on our song Step 4 from And the Story Goes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, way to listen to the entire catalog, Brian.
I mean, I already talked about Spirit Vessels. I was just asking.
Yeah,
I wasn't
he
entirely
was.
sure.
I remember.
He didn't actually listen to Spirited Vessel. He just saw the album cover.
The album cover is very cool. Our dude Corey does all the art for us. He's like,
yo, it is though.
Yeah. But I think like when all that stuff like when he was like getting like mad money back then, and apparently like he ate that bad sushi, it was like the same time he was doing this guest vocal for us. Like he was like living in Portland, Oregon, or something like that, and it happened. So I remember he was kind of like telling me about it at the same time.
He's the type of guy that's got seasonal residencies.
Yeah,
must be nice. That's stay sick money.
Early Attila, I feel like was definitely not like that, but yeah, it's crazy like seeing all the success that he's had.
Do you fight more or less being in a band with your brother?
We don't really fight at all. Yeah, we're
very good.
pacifists.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting you to call him. I was expecting you to call him a bitch and call him out right here.
Yeah.
I was expecting.
I mean, we've like, you know, we've pretty much like traveled the fucking world together, and we lived together overseas and stuff. So, you know, and we weren't like constantly living in England too. Like sometimes we'd like come back for like a few weeks or a month and like go back, and so it's not like we only really like had each other and not many friends sort of growing up like that. But yeah, like when we write when we write these songs and stuff, it's pretty easy. I guess you can say like we'll just be honest with one another and be like, yeah, this part like fucking sucks, dude.
Whack,
Like we gotta do something better. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey
it's
man,
like
I'm gonna need you to show up tomorrow because this shit's ridiculous.
I'm gonna really need you to bring it.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
like,
remember how we brought you in 2011? We'll fucking take you out. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. It just sounds stock. It sounds regular. All right, so last question. I'm gonna make it the worst question of the whole fucking interview. What does the band name mean? Because when I read Ascent Like Wolves, I think it's a play on words, and you're trying to say ascent, like headed upward, and you're ascending like wolves, but then I remember wolves don't have wings, and then I remember I need to stop smoking so late at night.
Yeah, well, I mean that'll do it. Too much pot marijuana is
if you cannot refer to it, if you cannot refer to it as pot marijuana, I'd appreciate it because the double word.
Wow, this is the first cop I've ever interviewed.
So bad. Hey, you're not a cop, right? You had to tell us if you were a cop or not. I'm pretty sure that was a part of the disclaimer.
I can't disclose that with you guys.
Fuck, we're busted, man. We gotta go.
Lancaster Police Department. God, that's why all the bands in Lancaster are Christian.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I never really kind of got that vibe like around here, to be honest.
It's usually the most godless cities that have like the most Christians in it because they need to reform.
ABR was playing at your guys' mass or something. I don't know what was going on out there. I just knew it was all.
Although that Purple Door Festival shit was like kind of around here though too, I feel like, and that was just kind of a lot of Christian bands on that. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Cornerstone. Remember Cornerstone? Cornerstone was out here in Texas or in Tennessee or somewhere. Yeah.
I don't have a clue what you guys are talking about.
Cornerstone, where fucking Devil Wears Prada did that famous parking lot set, and they did it.
Veronica
in like
Corningstone.
Yes, Veronica Corningstone.
Okay. All right. Well, Mystic Auras comes out next Friday, and
what was the question?
The band name. Where'd it come from?
Yeah, what does the damn band name mean? Ascent. It's like going up, right? Like Ascent like wolves.
Well, no, like I mean, you know, if you would say Ascent like wolves, it's like, you know, a smell like wolves. But the band name actually comes from a movie. It's from a movie called Ninja Assassin. So there's actually a part in the movie where the two main characters are talking to each other, and the girl's like, they're following our scent like dogs, and the lead male character says, no, like wolves. So that's where the band name comes from. And I think my drummer at the time was like texting me like, oh shit, dude, we need like a total of the band name. And I literally just heard that part in the movie, and I was like, yeah, dude, what about a scent like wolves? And he was like, oh hell yeah, dude.
I like it.
So
that's way better story than half the bands out here. That's a way better story than Dance Gavin Dance could tell me about their band name.
Yeah, I think I like just smoked up or some shit, and I was like at my grandma's or something like that too. And that movie
always getting high at grandma's.
Yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, I used to live there when I was in like high school later on, but yeah, man, it's just like a weird thing that I'm still kind of doing this and like reflecting on some of these moments like that.
Hey, dude, I was checking out some of your pictures, man. You've had some crazy crowds. You've done some crazy shows. I was watching some of the footage you guys have up. Like, there's some, yeah, man. You guys are doing it and doing it right, I think. And I think the success speaks to the 10 years of hard work, right? It speaks to you guys really wanting.
Speaks to all that money you paid AP for the features.
Yeah.
We got $10 on that ad, baby. Let's go.
Yo, GoFundMe. We're setting it up right now. Kickstarter.
But no, you talk about not making heavy music for the sake of making heavy music and not writing songs just to get popular, but you want the music to speak for itself, and you guys want what you put into the music to be heard. And again, I think you've captured a sound that is going to force people to listen to that. It's going to force people to pay attention because it's going to resonate, I think, with a lot of people because it's a fucking great sound. So I think you guys are on that way, and you've already achieved a decent level. So just going to be upward, man. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to listen to the album. I'm excited for it.
I've already heard it, and I've been bragging to everyone about it.
Thank you. I do appreciate like the kind words. It's awesome to hear because it's like it's always like nerve wracking. Like, you know, like when these press outlets like send out our albums, people to review, and we're like, oh, they're gonna fucking hate it. Like,
you're gonna know right away if it sucks. Like, there's a lot of shit that happens that notifies you immediately. No, Mystic Auras is a solid record, It is definitely
Thank
number
you.
one right now for our album of the year. It's only February, so I'm sure that'll get knocked
Well, I
off if
mean, that
JoJo Siwa releases an album.
that counts. That counts. I'm stoked on
Yeah,
that.
man.
That's cool.
There you go.
That's cool, man. That's cool to hear. Like, I don't know. I just hope like it's up there this year with so many other metalcore albums that I feel like if it would have came out last year, it wouldn't have done as well because of all those like phenomenal metalcore albums like Currents, Invent Animate, Polaris. Making
Yo, those
Suffer and stuff,
those
so.
all were on our year-end list. Those were all good.
Yeah, Event Anime was my number one, man. I thought that shit was fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
That shit was. And
I
then
need
era
this
Ghost
pandemic
Rapper.
to end because if all those bands you just mentioned would make the sickest tour for Ascent Like Wolves.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
Dude, I
man,
mean,
Infant
I mean,
Animated Era. Oh,
I guess one of the other reasons why we picked some of these vocalists is because we like value them as peers. We want to tour with these bands, and I feel like we should be on like the bottom rank of the tour with some of these bands that are playing. And yeah, like like a tour like North Lane Era, us in like Crystal Lake or something would be fucking sick.
that's hard. That's real cool. Yeah.
I feel like hopefully it's just a matter of time. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that new Era record next month.
Bro, it's gonna be so good.
Also produced by the same producers that we go to, Carson Grant. So
Nice. Yeah, man. I'm excited. Socials, medias. What do you got, man? Blast it out. Where can they find the band?
What's your OnlyFans?
Yeah, we still need the OnlyFans link. Any announcements? Any virtual shows? What do you got coming up on the?
We know you don't have any tours coming up, so just lie to us about your next tour.
Yeah. What's up?
well, we did have a tour we were working on for Asia. We've been there before a couple
With who?
times, but we were there with this French band called Shoot the Girl First, and
I know them. Who were you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hell of a band name. God damn.
Yeah. Well, there's a girl in the band, so.
Oh, so it's not okay. So it's not sexist. That's okay. More power to her.
It's a direction, just in case you need to.
Yeah.
Who am I going to shoot?
She
her.
fronts the band.
This is probably where I would make a very ill-timed Dimebag Daryl joke, but I'm not going to do it, people. I'm going to take the high road.
To hell?
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
definitely going to hell. Definitely going to hell.
Socials. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ASLW official, and I believe our Facebook is / Like Wolves. We're new to TikTok. I think ASLW _ official, but we don't really know how this shit works yet. We're just kind of feeling it out. I know Gen Z's all over that shit, but we.
You need to find K-pop songs and dance to them, but make sure you sway your hips in every video, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, dude, I can do that, man.
Yeah, you can.
do that. Yeah, I got it. But yeah,
you got to convince Nick to do it too. We got to convince both of you guys to do it.
Yeah,
and then
dude, Nick will do it, man. I don't know. No, Nick probably wouldn't do that. He's like really like not.
Nope, he's already committed. He's already committed.
Okay, he's already committed. I'm gonna have to tell him then. I'll text him right now. Right after this.
You better
like,
let him know.
You gotta get on that TikTok.
We're donating $10 to your AP ad, and we're also expecting him to show up in some TikTok videos.
Is he gonna do the silhouette?
Let's go.
I heard if you get interviewed for Alternative Press magazine, you also end up with a Youngblood collab. Brian, where can they find you on social media?
I was hoping we'd get the Machine Gun Kelly collab, but
Oh, okay, well, dude, no, you haven't kissed enough ass to get that Machine Gun Kelly. No. First, you need to find where Megan Fox lives and start sending them smoked meats and hummus. Okay, they're not gonna pay attention to you unless you send them hummus. Roasted red pepper usually does the trick. I've been doing this for about the past 6 months, and I'm edging in and getting that MGK interview so I could finally ask him why he just sucks.
So anyways, you can find me at Brian of Death on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my podcast, the Common Chaos Podcast, wherever podcasts are found, and over at commonchaos.net. I have a brand new episode where I interview frontman of Austin, Texas hardcore band Virtue, Christian McCann. He is Christian McCann. He is a fan of the podcast. He's actually going to be coming on with his bassist as well, so we can get ready for that. But yes, I interviewed
He's a fan of your podcast?
This podcast. That's why I'm positioning it. Anyways, let me do my job. You can catch that episode at Common Chaos.
Hold on, so he's a fan of this one or your podcast? I need to know if this guy's a liar or not.
this podcast, and he's
You know
in
what?
a
It's fine.
band.
Just continue. Just go. Just, you know.
Okay, and yes, you can find that brand new episode at commonchaos.net or wherever podcasts can be found. Matt should be here with the I Hate the Scene reads. Here we go. There we go.
You can find me on Instagram at iHateTheScene. You can find me on Twitter at IH8TE the scene, often duplicated but never imitated or intimidated. It would be I Hate the Scene if some dumb stuff.
Yeah, Harley cunt, you piece of shit. Give us back our fucking screen handle. Matt, you kind of cut out, so I might have froze. You froze on my screen.
We all froze. It's all good. You can also find us streaming live every Friday night. We are on twitch.tv/iHateTheScene. You can find us at facebook.com/iHateTheScene. And the most important one, Brian, you with me on this one? Okay, follow me.
Let's
I
go.
unplugged my
Here.
headphones.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to plug them back in. You following
Here
me?
we go.
YouTube.com/C/iHateTheScene. I can't eat unless you subscribe. If I don't get 5 people tonight to subscribe to that, not eating. Just no money, not happening. So make sure you do that. You can find all our social media links at iHateTheScene.com, and we will be back next Friday with our first official hip-hop guest. It was supposed to be last week. Some shit happened, yada yada. Anyways, Nappy High coming this Friday. Stoked as shit.
Get it, baby. And you froze.
Also, you know what's also happening next Friday? Mystic Auras comes out.
Woo!
Mystic Auras comes out,
February
guys.
19th.
FYE, Suncoast Media, Hot Topic Music. What defunct record stores am I forgetting?
Sam Ash,
Warehouse Music, Sam Ash,
Record
Tower
Alley.
Records, Virgin Mega
Tower
Store,
Records.
Record Alley.
Amoeba Records. Fucking
Amoeba still exists. They just moved.
Unfortunately.
Did I say Circuit City? Yeah, so Circuit City. Make sure you check out Scent Like Wolves, Mystic Auras. 25% more auras in every package. So get up on that.
That's right. That's right. Hell yeah.
Any last words before
dude,
we get sucked into the void?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys so much for having me here. For anyone listening that's a fan of the band or new fans potentially, Mystic Auras, our third studio album, is coming out February 19th, next Friday. We're completely fucking stoked on it. I think we
it's
sold
good.
out of all the vinyl and stuff. It is,
And
it
the merch is good.
We're not lying. Yeah, thank you. We just got that in. I was gonna wear the hoodie, but
You don't have a bunch of black and white t-shirts as your merch. It's actually colored garments.
Yeah.
There's hoodies. They look very nice. They're very mod. They're very fashionable. They look great whether you're 12 or F8. Everyone buy them. Any last words? Any bands we want to tell them we're better than? We want to start? We'll do it for you.
Starting band beef?
Yeah. We should definitely start beef with that one band named. What are they called?
I knew I was fucked.
So weird that it was laggy intro and outro. And Matt's frozen again. Matt, you're froze bad. Or are you just doing that on purpose?
I've been able to